my channel. So today I wanted to share with you my little humble perfume collection, and I say that because I don't really have a massive perfume collection compared to other beauty gurus out there or other YouTubers out there, and I guess I'm just not really the type of person that would always have a certain perfume or a certain bottle on my list, on my shopping list. Usually I probably have it on the back of my mind. Like, I'll have like 1 or 2 bottles I would like to try, and then, you know, like I said, it's in the back of my mind, and so I don't end up picking them up. And I usually am the type of person to invest in perfume bottles that I think are timeless and a scent that I would wear for the rest of my life, something that's classic, something that I resonate with in terms of my personality and what I'd like to smell like. I just wanted to share with you what's in my stash, and yeah, let's go ahead and get started. I'm gonna go ahead and get started with the latest that I added to my collection and then work from there. So the very first one that I want to share with you is this perfume from Chanel, and this is the Chance, one of the Chance perfumes, and this is the Automne. I think I'm saying it right, but if I'm butchering my French, please let me know. I have been wanting this scent forever. I think ever since I started getting into like Chanel beauty and all that stuff. I think this is probably one of my favorite out of all the Chance perfumes that I've tested, like every single time I go to a Sephora or a Macy's. And I actually like this way better than the Chanel No. 5. It smells really fresh and has that hint of that floral. I think it definitely has notes of jasmine, and this is actually what I'm wearing today. So I'm gonna put some more on my body. I just love how light this is, and it's not overpowering, and it's not something where it makes people kind of take notice in a bad way where they're like, oh my gosh, it's so strong. It's really not. It's very delicate, and I love that it has that citrusy notes, and then at the same time it also has notes of like green, like the meadow or something like that. And I don't know why I waited years before I actually picked this one up, because I have been getting samples of this for a while now and I never bit the bullet until recently, and so definitely excited to get more use out of this. So the next scent that I wanted to share with you, I actually got as one of my picks from Scentbird, and it is the My Burberry, and I had this on my Christmas wish list this past Christmas, and since I didn't get it, I wanted to try it out through Scentbird, and I didn't even know that they had it on their website, but when I saw it I was like, yes. Yes, and I just love, and you're gonna see the ongoing trend to what kind of notes I like in this video. And the My Burberry is a little bit more floral, but it is still fresh smelling than the Chanel Chance. But this one has more floral notes, and this one has a little bit more of that green and citrusy notes in it. I really adore this scent. Man, I'm gonna spray this all over the place. I think I'm gonna need like coffee beans probably in the middle of this video, because I'm going to be spraying this all over my body. So now that we are still in the topic of Scentbird, I wanted to share with you the other scents that I picked up from my subscription service. From Scentbird, I actually picked out a Random, and this was one of my recommendations that I got from the quiz that I took with Scentbird, and this one is the Carolina Herrera, and I think this one is also the original scent. Actually has a balance of a lot of things. It has the same notes as what I had discussed earlier, so the fresh florally scents, but it also has like a little bit of a spice to it. So I can smell some notes of cinnamon in here, and then I can also smell some fruity scents, but not like the sweet ones, but more of the citrusy ones. And then it also has that hint of that woodsy scent as well, which is really cool actually, because when it comes to scents, when they're contrasting each other, usually they kind of try to overpower each other, but this one's a really good balance, and I'm really glad that I got this from my Scentbird. So now that we're in the topic of Scentbird, I just wanted to share just a little tidbit of my experience with them and also like how it works and all that stuff. I think Scentbird is a really good service in terms of if you're like a beginner like me when it comes to collecting perfume, or if you don't really have that access to try out different kinds of perfume to see what kind of notes you like, what is trendy and what's out there. It's a really good way to start and test out different scents. They have over 450 different brands and different perfumes out there on their website. And for me, it was really good because I got to try one of the perfumes that I had on my list that I wanted to try for a long time, and then another popular one. And then I also got to broaden my spectrum a little bit and try something that I've never seen before. And for me, as opposed to getting like these sample size spray bottles like this one has 0.05 fluid ounces or 1.5 mils. You actually get 0.27 or 8 mils of product for only $14.95 a month, which is not bad at all. And for someone like me who doesn't really want to invest in perfume bottles that are like trendy or like seasonal that I know I'm probably going to use for like 2 months and then forget about, I definitely think this is a really good website to try, and you get a really good use out of it. I think it's like an equivalent to 120 sprays before you decide if you want to buy the full-size bottle or not, or try something different. So how it works, you basically go on their website on www.scentbird.com, and then after you've signed up and put in all of your information and all of that good stuff, there is that tab on their website where you click on their recommendations, and then that's when you get to take their quiz. So they ask you a series of random questions, and then as you go along it gets a little bit more specific, and then at the end they also ask you what kind of notes you particularly are attracted to, what kind of perfumes or brands you've heard of before they narrow down your choices and give you their recommendations. And then you can choose to add that to your queue, or you can choose from the variety that they do have of any specific perfumes that you would like to try. And then when you get your first order, they will send you this tube size spray, and then they also give you this really nice and really sturdy case, which is super easy. You can just, you know, switch it around with different perfumes. And I don't know, I just decided to pick up 2 extra ones just because I just love the packaging, and it's quick and easy. You can throw this in your purse, or just because it is very pretty, you can also put this out on display on your vanity. And one last thing that I think is great about Scentbird is that they let you purchase the full-size bottle on their website. And I know there's plenty of places out there that you can purchase your perfume bottles off of, but Scentbird actually lets you use your credit towards your perfume bottle that you wanted to get. I will have a coupon down below that gives you 25% off. So the next scents I wanted to share with you are from Elizabeth and James, and these are the Nirvana roller balls, and I got both black and white scents, and I have been loving both of these so much. And these two are very unique. I think they're like night and day basically. I definitely get more use out of the white as opposed to the black, just because this one is like perfect for every day for me. It has the notes that I look for. It has that fresh and that florally scent, and I also have the dry shampoo version of this and also this one, but I use the white more often for every day just because I love having my hair smelling like Nirvana white. And then the Nirvana black is a little bit more edgy and more sophisticated and in some sense very sensual. And according to Elizabeth and James, this one has a balance between masculine and feminine scents. So this one is actually very woodsy. Oh yeah. It also has notes of vanilla in it. Usually I would wear this for like a night out or a special event or something like that. I love using this for when I want to step out of that comfort zone. The next scent that I wanted to share with you, I actually got out of a whim, and this was when Jimmy Choo released a fragrance and everyone was like, oh my gosh, I have to have this scent because it's new and it's Jimmy Choo. Without even trying it out at the store, I just picked it up. It's one of those like special event kind of scents that, you know, I just, when I want to switch it up or if I want something a little bit different, then I would spray this on. And I usually use this like around like Thanksgiving to the holidays kind of time. And if I had one word to describe the scent of this, it's very sensual, in a sense where it has that woodsy scent and has that sweet and spicy mixture. I'm not sure if it has any spices in this, but it definitely has like something sweet, like maybe like caramel or vanilla or something like that. And this one also has like hints of like some florals in it. It's like stronger, and I think like that kind of sophisticated, like classy woman kind of scent. So the next two scents that I wanted to share with you are the ones that I have bought time and time again. And the first one that I wanted to share with you is this Misty or Sherry. And I don't think they sell it as Misty or Sherry anymore. This is like my third bottle of this, and I bought this I think when I was in college, and I definitely love this scent. So the Misty or Sherry has the perfect balance between florals and just those sweet notes. I think this one has like caramel in it, and it's not like overpowering to where it's like, oh my gosh, it's too sweet, like Bath and Body Works or Victoria's Secret. And this one like smells so good and has like strong citrusy scents as well. Definitely one of my favorites, and also my boyfriend's favorite. I remember when I first tried this on and I went to go see him, and he was like, you're wearing something different and I love it, what is it? And then I told him what it was, and he was like, yeah, that is your scent and you're going to wear that all the time. And so yeah, every time I ran out of this, I would buy a new one. So let me know in the comments below if the Misty or Sherry has just been renamed or just discontinued, because I would be so disappointed, because the original Misty or I am not really that much of a fan of. I like this a little bit better because it's a little bit more youthful and playful. The next scent that I wanted to share with you is actually one of those that I'm kind of embarrassed about, because everybody in the whole world, if you're like my age or a little bit older or a little bit younger than me, you would know that everybody had the Viva La Juicy perfume. And I didn't really grow up like trying out different perfumes. The extent of it in high school was like, I think like Victoria's Secret or like Bath and Body Works, and even then like I didn't like wearing perfume because those that I've tried were really strong and really sweet and just like too fruity. Like it was just like too fruity. And I remember at the time, I think it was like when Juicy and like brands like Coach and Abercrombie and Hollister were like what Michael Kors and Tory Burch would be today. And I remember I had been eyeing this for a while, and then when my dad got it for me, I was like so ecstatic, because it was like, I don't know, like when I smelled this for the first time, I was just like, I have to have it because it was the scent that I wanted. And I was so happy when my dad got me this, because I never really was able to afford perfume. Like if I had to spend my allowance on something, it would be for school or for other things, but that was not perfume. And so I was really happy, and this was like one of my prized possessions, and little did I know that I would discover like other brands. And my boyfriend, we just started dating at the time. I remember like going on a date, and then he like smelled my hand or something like that, and he was like, you're wearing Viva La Juicy, right? And I was like, how do you know? Like I was like kind of stumbled, and I was like, how do guys know what girls wear for perfume? Like that was kind of weird. And he was like, you're wearing Viva La Juicy. And I was like, yes, why? And he had told me that his ex-girlfriend loved this scent, and that was like her signature scent, and she wore it all the time. And so after that, I stopped wearing this. Like I don't even know why I still own it. I think I wore it like once or twice ever since, just because I didn't want him to be reminded of his ex-girlfriend every time he saw me. And so I never used this again. And so that's when I knew that, you know, I needed to find something unique for me that people will just say that it's just me and not smell like everyone else. Okay, so the last full-size bottles that I wanted to share with you are from Jo Malone. And Jo Malone is probably one of those, like if you are really a big perfume fanatic, you would love love Jo Malone. I have two of my favorites right here in full size, and so this one is the Nectarine Blossom and Honey, and then the other one is actually discontinued. This one is the Black Vetiver Cafe. So I love the concept of Jo Malone just because everything in her line just complements each other, and I love that you can layer 2 or 3 different scents all together and it won't like try to compete with one another, and if anything they will complement one another. And that's why I bought the Nectarine Blossom and Honey. This is actually my second bottle of this, and I remember first getting introduced to this, like I was just like browsing at Nordstrom and I got lured into it because of a Nordstrom like anniversary sale with those gift with purchases, and I ended up like testing different scents and I loved all the combinations. And so when I got the gift with purchases, which are these deluxe travel like sample sizes, I got the grapefruit and the orange blossom, which are very strong citrusy scents, and when you mix it with the nectarine blossom, which is like a sweet and fresh scent with that really strong honey smell, and then you layer the citrusy scent on top of it, it's just like summer. It like screams summer. And I definitely don't regret investing in 2 of the full-size bottles at the same time, just because I knew it was a dent in my wallet, but since I can mix this with so many different ones from Jo Malone, like I felt like it was worth it. So every time I pass by a Nordstrom that carries the Jo Malone perfumes, I always try to get like samples like this. So I have the English Pear and Freesia, which will kind of amp up the sweetness and give it that extra hint of freshness to it. And then the next one is the Wild Bluebell, and this one is more floral. One is the Blackberry and Bay. This one has a hint of that spice. I'm not sure what kind of herb it is, but it has that herby scent to it, like freshly cut green grass, which is amazing. And then the last one that I have to share with you is the Red Roses, which is a Red Roses scent. So yeah, that was pretty much it for my little humble perfume collection. I hope that you all liked it, and just like I said as my disclaimer, it's not a very big perfume collection, and so I hope that you all still like this video, and please let me know in the comments below what your go-to perfume is, and if you have any favorites or whatsoever, leave them in the comments down below. Maybe I'll decide to get a sample of it or even pick it up on my Scentbird subscription. Let me know in the comments below if you want me to do any more like collection videos, like more in-depth ones. I definitely want to show y'all my makeup collection. I hope that you all have a great day, and I will see you again soon. Bye.